Thank you very much. You see that beautiful milk? It's what we're here for. We're discussing milk and whole milk and how good it is, how nourishing that these people all come from beautiful farms and a wonderful life. And they'll be happier today than they would have been if we didn't sign this. So we'll be talking about that in a second. Will, could you read the first two items, and we're going to get going after that? We'll be talking about a couple of things. We have some news on Iran, which we're going to talk about.
Shortly before you all came in, the president signed two executive actions. The first is the result of a Section 232 trade investigation into critical minerals supplies. What it does is it sets up a mechanism, a process by which the United States will seek to secure its international supply chain of critical minerals and critical mineral-derived products. The second is actually the result of another Section 232 trade investigation, this one into semiconductors. It sets up a two-phase process. Under the first phase, semiconductors that are imported into the United States of America that are not then used domestically to build out RAI or computing architecture here will be subject to a 25% tariff. So, for example, semiconductors that were transshipped through the United States to other foreign countries would be subject to that 25% tariff. But those are two executive actions that the president reviewed shortly before you all came in.
So they're going to sell chips, basically, and it's a chip. It's not the highest level, but it's a very good level, and China wants them and other people want them, and we're going to be making 25% on the sale of those chips, basically. So we're allowing them to do it, but the United States is getting 25% of the chips in terms of the dollar value, and I think it's a very good deal. Great deal. We're taking billions of dollars. And they've done a fantastic job. But it's not the Blackwell or the ribbon. Those are the two. But it's a very good job. And people want it. And we think it's, going to be tested. And we have some other little things to talk about. Maybe we'll start that first. Did I start that first? I think they're all me too. I have a feeling. We have been notified and pretty strongly, but we'll find out what that all means. But we've been told that the killing in Iran is stopping. It's stopping. And there's no plan for executions, execution. So I've been told that a good authority will find out about it. I'm sure if that happens, they'll be very upset. Including you, will be very upset because just gotten to me information that the killing is stopped, that the executions are stopped. They're not going to have an execution. Which a lot of people are getting off the line, getting the best, but they don't get into that execution. And another piece of information there, which is very important, is the liquor has been found. And he's in jail right now. And they still liquor on Venezuela. Very bad liquor. So there could be some others, or we'll let you know about that. We're not in that jail, but the leaker has been found, and the leaker's in jail. And we'll probably be in jail for a long time. We'll see what happens. So we'll let you know. We'll keep you apprised as to what's going to happen with him. I want to thank all of the incredible people behind me, political people, both Republicans and Democrats, because they like whole milk. Whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, whole milk is right. And a great thing. The senator was in the office many years ago. It feels like many years ago, but quite a while ago, right at the beginning of my first term.
Yeah, Elijah Cummings.
Right, with Elijah, a very good person. You and I had a good relationship with him. At that time, I think you were a congressman, and you've made a lot of progress.
Well, some of the disagree.
I think she's done a great job. It's great to have you here again.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. So today I'm delighted to sign the Whole Milk for Healthy Kids Act into law, which is a very important thing for our farmers, and I think maybe more important for our people. People who drink milk. This is the first bill signing of the new year, and it will ensure that millions of school-aged children have access to high-quality milk as we make America healthy again. I want to thank Secretary of Agriculture Brooke Rollins, who's behind me, Secretary of Health and Human Services Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Senators John Bozeman and Mike Crapo, Roger Marshall, Peter Welch, as well as Representative T.T. Thompson and Tim Wahlberg, all great people. Also with us today is USDA National Nutrition Advisor Dr. Ben Thorson, my friend for a long time. We went head to head, and it was not easy going head to head with her. He still looks good. That's because he drinks a lot of milk. And some of our nation's wonderful dairy farmers and their children. They're going to be farmers for a long time, we hope. As it currently stands, schools participating in the National School Lunch Program are only able to offer students low or non-fat milk options. That was changed during the Obama administration, and a lot of people disagreed with it at the time. With this legislation, schools will finally be able to expand their offerings to include nutritious whole milk. It's actually a legal definition, whole milk. And it's whole with a W. For those of you that have a problem, this is the perfect follow-up to the new real food pyramid, and Secretary Kennedy and Secretary Rollins announced last week. You probably heard it. This legislation also allows parents to directly request a substitute for milk for children with dairy intolerance. Previously, parents were required to submit a written statement from a doctor, but we're eliminating that rather ridiculous policy, allowing parents to choose what is best for their child, which is a big move. Hard to believe that that would be a big thing, but it is. And of course, these changes will be major victories for the American dairy farmers. Going now, and nobody farming farmers in the same. And every one of them. In December, I also signed the Secure Rural Schools Reauthorization Act. And I'm proud to say that these two pieces of legislation will give school-age children across the country the resources and support that they need, not just to succeed, but really to thrive in life and later on in life. So I want to ask Secretary Rollins to say a few things, and then I'd like to ask Secretary Kennedy and Dr. Thorson. I'd also like to hear from these great political leaders, senators, congressmen, if they'd like to say something. I'd be honored. So, Brooke, do you want to start?
Yes, thank you, and what a joy and an honor it is to be here. I feel like I have the best job in the world with representing all of these farmers. And Mr. President, not in our lifetime, has been a president who loves and supports our farmers more, and certainly the dairy farmers. I want to thank all of our farmers here today, sir. Most of them are 5th and 6th generation. They represent states from all across our country, and bringing the children to and seeing what the next generation of dairy farmers looks like. The amazing thing is some of these farmers back here from Butler, Pennsylvania,
Where?
Butler, Pennsylvania. Yeah, and I love you. But he milks about 40 to 60 cows. And then we have Jamie from Wisconsin, who milks about 5,000 cows. So they represent all across the spectrum and what this means. And I think it's important to note that in the last year, your support for these American farmers, for rural America, the One Big Beautiful bill was the largest investment in rural America in history. I think that's important to note. The trade, and I see my friend Jamison Greer over there and Howard Lutnick on this end. We've opened up more than 24 different markets. Milk exports, dairy exports are up 23% just in the last year. And when you think about the ag deficit that happened under Joe Biden and the 4 years, we went from a surplus of agriculture products when we left the first time to a $50 billion deficit when we came back. Yep. So these are massive, massive wins for America, and I think it's important to note that. I also want to note, and you said it as well, that over a decade ago, Michelle Obama, in this very room, made an announcement on a short-sighted campaign to ditch whole milk in schools, and that's what we're working to fix today. Last week, Bobby Kennedy and Ben Carson and Dr. Oz and the whole crew, sir, announced the Dietary Guidelines for Americans 2025 to 2030, which also reintroduced full-fat dairy into a healthy diet. And today, by signing this bill, Senator Marshall and Congressman Thompson and both all the wonderful men to the right who worked so hard on this. Peter Welsh, it is a bipartisan issue, and understanding where we are in this country and how important the health of certainly our children are is so important. USDA is posting today the guidance. So we're signing the bill, and USDA, we're moving at Trump time, is posting today the new rulemaking that is necessary to get whole milk back into school lunches. So that's a really, really big deal.
So how long will that take?
It should just take a few weeks, and then the milk starts moving in. So it's a big announcement, sir, for our schools and our children. And I know Secretary Kennedy will talk a little bit about the health issues, so I won't do that. I'll skip over that. You mentioned, and the last thing I'll say, I know we're here to sign the bill on whole milk, but Senator Crapo's work and our wonderful friend Doug LaMalfa, who we lost way too soon,
Right.
their work on securing Rural Schools Reauthorization Act, how important that too is for rural America. 700 eligible rural counties across the nation are now guaranteed funds for schools and roads and infrastructure. So, sir, you say it all the time. Those are your people. They voted for you and with us and saw your vision from the beginning. This is who we're here to support today, in addition to the whole milk for healthy schools, which will help all children. Just remember, eat real food, and drink whole milk. What a joy again it is to be here, and I especially want to thank all of our incredible farmers for what you do. So, sir, with that, I'll turn it over to Secretary Perry.
Just before you go there, how are we doing with the food prices?
Yes, sir. Well, I'm glad you asked, because I'm on a chart, and that just happened to be right behind me. So, speaking of milk, milk is actually way down, and I know we're here to talk about that today.
44%.
That's right, sir.
44% down. Milk, 44% down.
Eggs is way down. Milk is way down. This is just since we took office, sir. Fresh whole chicken down 2%. Cheese down. Tomatoes down. Butter down. Of course, eggs are way down. Potatoes down almost 3%. Fresh fruits down almost 3%. But this is just the beginning. And as we continue to bring the cost of farming down, bring the cost of inputs down, open up the market, support our farmers, we'll see even more affordability moving forward.
And eggs are down 31%, so
Yes.
that's really something. With Bobby.
Bobby's right here.
We like Bobby.
Sees the alignment between farm prosperity and food policy and health of our children. These are common sense associations. Democrats been talking about them for eons. Republicans been talking about them. Finally, the president is implementing these policies to bring a food for our children. Today, President Trump signs the Whole Milk for Healthy Kids Act of 2025, a long overdue correction. School nutrition policy puts children's health first. For years, Washington treated fat, especially saturated fat, as an enemy. They don't war on saturated fat. He's not president. He half deals and big wars, and it's also a war on saturated fat. As a result, all of the health years in school is, even though science has never shown the whole milk harms children, evidence increasingly shows the opposite. The every nutrients in all milk is critical to brain development and community development in our children. All infants that help provide 30 minutes essential ingredients critical for growth, development, immune system function, and overall health, including protein, calcium, vitamin D, and healthy fats. Yet since these milk options were removed more than a decade ago, school milk consumption and meat participation today between 68% and 94% of school-age boys and girls fail to meet recommended dairy intake, and 40% of finalists. The schools limit the tuition to kids do not use the healthcare subsidies. And those age range to 30 trains and the sleeping beverages. Possibility of physical factor the potential of the economically and bad health, which is tied to the right disease of vaccines. During the same period, the regulated the functioning rates of childhood obesity and diabetes rose significantly. Removing whole milk sometimes improves the health of the This law fixes that mistake. It allows schools and one school lets over these lows of free, flavored, unfinished flavor, organic, unconventional. Restores choice to schools, parents, and students, and encourages themselves to fix the best kids actually think. All things necessary drivers and parents working with their parents to request no substitute without the necessity of a public factor. And it makes us law technical students fluid enough. It's a fact populations that the sporting school is. No fact is not enough food. Media company, nutrition, and medical science. Last week, Secretary Willis was present from students and updated our guidelines with clear message. The food is law, listen, it's fully negative. And the Secretary of Health and Human Services is support the reform because it aligns federal policy with evidence space existing ideology for helping use real food, and real protein, and healthy fats, and policy and reality and science. I want to thank them for propaganda for trying to children's health care. It's exactly the kind of practice that is
Thank you, Bob. We have some milk here. Been sitting here for 5 days, so it's from the original bottle, and I'm going to show you guys. That's how we can get all that. Remember the old days where we would give everybody here in the bottom? Okay, we tend not to do that, but if you don't care, if you trust the president, you're being it's right here if you choose. So send my friends. I'm 6 days old. Thank you. So Ben Carson, so man, does a lot about health. He looks better than ever. So Ben, how about it?
Well, thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for being interested in the health of the people. It made a big difference in facilitating an atmosphere where the agencies can work together. Secretary Rollins, Secretary Kennedy, Marty McSherry, Dr. Hans, the whole group. Every week, at least, meeting once to talk about these things. Things made a big difference. And I want to thank the dairy farmers. I know you guys have been in the doghouse for a little while. You're out of the doghouse. And, whole milk is a wonderful beverage. Good protein. We talk about real food, good real food, healthy fats, important nutrients. You look at vitamin D, you look at calcium, phosphorus, the things that are absolutely essential for bone development and for teeth. But as a neurosurgeon, the thing I really like is that the brain, what it does for the brain. The brain starts to develop right after conception, and it's millions of neurons every single day. Continues to do that right up until the mid to late 20s. Now, it's important what that brain is getting during the development. Is it getting soda or is it getting milk?
So milk would help your cognitive ability.
Absolutely. You can tell who's been getting cognitive damage.
Basically, one of them is I drink milk.
It's good for any shows.
You consider there to be a big difference in taste between what you ate and this is healthy. It doesn't look so good for you, right? Go ahead.
When you go to school and you give the kids milk, real milk, they love it. When you pour the stuff that looks like, this canned water, they don't want that. It doesn't taste good either. So this is a great day. It's only a part of what's happening with our emphasis on health. Our longevity has been going down, and other industrialized nations has been going up. It's because we haven't been paying attention to this. That has changed, and we want to thank you for using it.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate all you've done for the country. I'd like to ask a few of our senators to say a couple of words. Maybe you can start with it. Very well.
Thank you very much for being here.
No, thank you. You know, our dairy farmers are so vitally important, and they have a way of life that transmits from one generation to another. And it's tougher than ever for our dairy farmers in Vermont, our dairy farmers in Pennsylvania and others, South Carolina, are here. But they're the lifeblood of the community. Nobody works harder, and nobody does things that are better for our nutrition. And also for our kids. I'm in agreement. The kids having access to healthy milk, good milk, whole milk, is really good for them. One of the things that I get very excited about, that really the Vermont farmers talked about, is they have their milk from their farm that then goes directly to many of our schools. And then kids come out to the farms and start seeing how milk is made, what farming is about. That's good for America. It's not a party deal. This has been a bipartisan effort. I appreciate working with my colleague, Senator Marshall, who did a great job, and JT when I was in the House. And Tim, thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
It's got to be like a 90-10 issue, another one of those nails. It's good to have you on our side, but it's a great issue, and it's a great thing to do, and we're very proud of it. We're very proud of our farmers. Senator, you want to say a few words?
Sure, I'll be very brief. We all want to see you sign this bill. But, I really appreciate you and Brooke bringing up the Secure Rural Schools legislation. This is critical legislation to our rural communities across this country, and we have to fight every couple of years to get it extended just a couple of years. And this extension we got this year went back to pick up a few years that we missed, and it's going to expire again at the end of the next year. And Mr. President and Secretary, I'm going to encourage us to get back in here to sign a secure rural schools bill that is permanent. I want to set a goal, or hopefully you'll set a goal with me to get it back there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ryan. Anybody? Yeah, Mr. President, thank you so much for having us here on behalf of Kansas dairy farmers. Thank you. Milk is the most wholesome, nutritious drink known to humankind. Not only is it full of essential nutrients, it's full of healthy fats as well as protein. As Dr. Carson pointed out, those healthy fats are what helps that brain develop and help you absorb the fat-soluble vitamins. The protein is why you drink milk and you're not hungry again in 30 minutes. And I have to point out that under the previous couple administrations ago, thanks to them, we have a whole generation of young adults who have osteopenia and osteoporosis because they never drank milk for an entire generation. So getting milk back in the schools is going to give us healthy bones and healthy minds. It sticks to your ribs, and it tastes great. Thanks for your show. Yes, sir, Mr. President. Thank you.
And politically first, and then when you go to the farmers.
Yes, please.
Mr. President, thank you so much. I want to ask Dr. Carson if there's an age limit on the cognitive ability. I'm drinking a whole lot. Thank you so much. You know, we literally have legislators here that have worked on this for years. This is something really very, very difficult. You're able to help us. I think it would have been very easy. But you were able to help us get it over the gut. You and the great team, Brooke, and all of these people have done such a good job. Not only with this issue, but all that we're doing for the farming community. This is so very important. So thank you very, very much. And I know that you're going to continue to support farmers like you have. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, that's amazing.
Your support, your leadership, we were able to get this across the line.
It's such a shame that we so
I know, common sense with the was lost. And, the benefits today go to those precious children that we see over there. It goes to our dairy farm families who work so hard 7 days a week. There's no day off for dairy farmer. And quite frankly, our rural communities who, when misguided moves to take whole milk and 100% milk and flavor in the schools, we lost a generation, probably 2 generations of milk drinkers that have devastated those rural communities because you lose the dairy farms, then you lose all the supplies, businesses, and you lose grocery stores, and you lose community pharmacies. Well, that day ends today with your signature. We reverse that trend and we build a robust rural economy. And I'll just close with, they would be the same with my next quote was
Whole milk too.
Anybody else? Well, Mr. President, Chairman of the Education Workforce Committee, this fits with what they, I think they enjoy in school and go from. Also to have J.T. Thompson sponsor the bill on that committee, and I think I've worked with you for 15 years, but we finally got it done in committee. This makes an impact for education, for our workforce, the health that's there, and the reality of what this farming industry does. I live in the most diverse farm district in Michigan. Thanks for coming to Michigan yesterday.
Right.
And my kids were raised on, it's legal now, raw milk, taken right out of the bulk tank. And my oldest son became a Pulitzer-nominated journalist for the Chicago Tribune, and I think the milk did it, right? Then I had the benefit of Dr. Carson being a graduate of Andrews University in my district. So all of that goes together. Thank you for signing this. It'll make a difference.
Great job. So, how about a couple of the farmers? Would anybody like to speak? Would you like to, you wanted to say how great milk is?
Yes, Mr. President, we want to say thank you for doing this. It's been stated several times how long this took, and so thank you for your support and leadership and finally making this happen. As a mom and a dairy farmer, this isn't just a big win for the dairy farm families across the country, but as it's been said, the millions of school-age kids that depend on school lunches for their nutrition and to fuel their bodies. So thank you.
So they've been fighting this for years then, right?
15 years.
Well,
Before these kids.
Have you been fighting it for that long?
For a while, we've been fighting it. I mean, I think I speak for everybody. It's been a long time coming, so your leadership is it.
Well, it's great. I had no idea when. Just seems to make sense, right? Hard to believe when you said 15 years is at the beginning. It's government is tough. Government can be very tough. How about you? Would you like to say something?
So we are very grateful and thankful that you passed this bill because it is common sense as to what we should be consuming. Whole foods and whole milk. Unfortunately, that has not been the case for a few years. But research shows and our MAHA movements have been taking the right steps to make America healthy. And our children are growing into active teenagers and athletes. And what do they need? They need strong bones. They need the energy. They need the healthy muscles. And so we are so grateful that the science is there and we are actually at the right point in the right step, making sure America is healthy. So we are very thankful.
It's so great. I look forward to getting it all the time. I open the refrigerator and say milk with rice and milk with water and milk with everything. And I said, what kind of milk is it? That's what I like right there. That's great. Thank you very much. Please, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Patrice Anluca. I am the Center Director at the Independent Women's Forum. I work on economic policies, but I'm also a mom of boys. As you can see, this is Jesse. Jesse, you want to say your name and age?
My name is Jesse. I am 6 years old. I am 7 years old. I want to be an engineer when I grow up. I am a first grader. I also know where does milk come from.
Where does it come from?
So first farmers milk it, and then next they put it into a cold tank, and then they to take the germs out, they put it very hot, and then they put it back in the cold tank, and then they haul it to somewhere that's cold in a big refrigerator.
What that is? Everybody, these guys want it. Let me tell you, politicians want it. I'm going to give that to you. Is that okay?
Thank you, sir. And this is his younger brother. Daniel, how old are you?
5.
And what grade are you in?
Kindergarten.
And these boys are involved in sports. They go to a public school in the Maryland area, and many of their friends are drinking the kind of options that they don't really like. And so it's good that as they get to drink a glass of milk every morning, their friends will be able to drink that at school as well. So thank you very much for what you're doing for public school kids in particular.
Beautiful people. Thank you very much. Doing a great job too.
Thank you.
Please.
I'm Amber Schwartz. I'm also with Independent Women, but I'm here with my son, Luke, who's 13 years old. We're in Alexandria, Virginia. Luke needs a lot of protein right now to grow. In fact, his doctor has told us between 60 and 70 grams a week. And I can't feed him a whole chicken every day, so supplementing with milk is really helping us. Unfortunately, at school, they've offered skim milk and chocolate, and he does not like either. And so he has been turning to the juice boxes and other drinks that have sugar. And so thank you for giving him the opportunity, and parents too, to make a choice.
That's great. That's really great. How about you?
Thank you, Mr. President. On the one,
Beautiful red hair. Look at
but I'm the aforementioned one from Butler, Pennsylvania,
Yes.
so we you know that place very well, and we still love you. So, but Mr. President, I was thinking last night when I was milking what I was going to say, and I thought, well, this is such a monumental day in agriculture, not just dairy farmers, but for all of agriculture, because this helps me as a producer, helps the processors, it also helps these kids here. So it's good all around, and this is perfect legislation, a great day for America is what this is.
Thank you very much. Beautifully said, and we appreciate it. And it is a great place to keep out from. I love it. Please.
Mr. President, thank you. It's an honor to be here. And, I think this is about choices. This day's been a long time coming. We've been waiting on this for many years. And, it's great that we're able to provide choices now in schools with whole milk. Well, thank you for that. And thank you for everything that you do for the dairy industry. That us dairy farmers produce valuable nutrients every day for consumers.
So you're going to need to produce more milk because you're not mixing it up with all sorts of things, right?
That's right.
That's great. How much of an increase will that be? Do you have any idea? A lot more. Boy, that's so good for the industry. Absolutely. I just leave you to wait so long.
So thank you, guys. Mr. President, I'd like to thank you again for your support behind this, and the gentleman standing behind you. Like you said, we worked 15 years on it. I advocate for our industry a lot out in the community, and I know I've been into high schools, I've been in middle schools where the students want milk. I did a taste test one time at a high school where we gave them whole milk versus the skim milk their school was giving them. The kids love the whole milk. So just your all support behind us, your support getting it pushed through, I really appreciate what you've done and what the gentleman behind me were able to do.
We support the farmer.
Yes, sir.
The farmer knows what's right better than anybody else. Bobby would tell you that. But the farmer, they know what's right.
Yes, sir.
Especially when it comes to things like this. We're sorry it took so long. It was 15 years. I can't believe it. Howard, would you like to say something?
What's amazing is that the president has the leadership and common sense to drive the right outcomes. Why should kids not be given the choice to drink whole milk? How is that even possible? So it's amazing to work for you because you just own common sense and you're driving it through our economy, you're driving it through the farmers. Got great leadership in Secretary Rollins and Secretary Kennedy, and it's great fun to be here because, think of today. How much fun is this? It's just common sense.
I like the Oval Office. It's beautiful. Even the media, they come here, they're here a lot, but it's sort of like you're in the Oval Office. It's the whole ball begins and ends and then re-begins here. There is no place like it, right? There's no place like it. If you love the country especially, there's no place like it. So thank you. Thank you, Howard, very much. So let's sign it. Should I sign it?
Yes, sir.
Let's you go another 15 minutes. Come on, have to do a big one here. This is right. So this is very important for me. Anyway, here it is.
Alright. One for the kids.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Yes, thank you very much. Thanks, Chris. You hold that on. You'll give it to us later. So any questions during what we decided? Oh, let's talk about this.